Over the years, there's one place that has become my most consistent space of deep learning in my life. My university? Nah. My office? Not even close. It is my car. I am in full middle-aged dad mode right now. I'm either at work, in meetings, coaching students, running from one obligation to the next, or I'm chasing kids, managing sports schedules, homeworks, dinners, and trying to hold together my suburban life. My calendar is loud, my house is loud, my phone is loud. But my car? My car is one of the only places where I can reliably guarantee quiet, uninterrupted time. And once I realized that, everything shifted. My name is Dr. Erik Albinson, an educational PhD and professional academic coach. In this video, I want to show you how to use your car to deepen your learning, protect your mental health, and actually think again in a distracted world. I rarely listen to music in the car anymore. Not because music is bad, but because my 30-minute commute has become one of the most powerful learning windows in my day. I listen to YouTube videos, audiobooks, and podcasts. But here's the key distinction most people miss. Passive listening is not the same as learning. If the information just washes over you, very little of it sticks. Neuroscience tells us that attention is the gateway to memory. If your attention drifts, encoding drops fast. The hippocampus cannot consolidate what the prefrontal cortex never fully engaged with in the first place. So here's how I make audio learning actually work. When I teach students to read textbooks, I never tell them to read straight through. I tell them to read in chunks, subtitle to subtitle, idea to idea. Pause, process, then continue. You do the exact same thing with audio. Listen until the speaker finishes a key idea. When you feel that natural transition point, pause the audio. Then ask 3 questions. What is the core concept I just heard? Why does it matter? How could I actually use this? That brief pause is not wasted time. That pause is where learning happens. You are forcing retrieval, meaning making, and application. Those are the exact same processes that strengthen neural connections. Your brain learns by doing something with the information, not by letting it drift through your ears while you mentally plan dinner. This is also where metacognition kicks in. When you pause and reflect, you are training your executive function. That is the same system students use to monitor their understanding while studying. You are teaching your brain to stay active, not just be entertained. Your commute becomes a rolling classroom if you use it intentionally. If you are a college student, a grad student, or a researcher, you probably have a full folder full of research articles that you fully intend to read one day. You download the PDFs, you highlight a few lines, then they just sit there quietly judging you. This is where NotebookLM becomes incredibly powerful. You can upload a research article into the folder and have it create a podcast, a professional sounding podcast. This feature honestly blows me away. And so you can listen to your research articles while you drive your car. As I listen to the podcast during my drive, I pause after big ideas and try to restate them in my own words. This activates retrieval practice, and at the same time, it helps me find my knowledge gaps. If I can explain it clearly, I understand it. If I cannot, I just found the exact place I need to revisit later. Over time, my car becomes a moving seminar room where I listen to a podcast built entirely around the exact research I care about. Quick pause to thank the sponsor of today's video, 15 Minutes AI. If you like the idea of turning your commute into real learning time, this tool fits perfectly into that rhythm. I use 15-Minute AI as a way to explore which books I actually want to read deeply before I commit hours and days to them. The summaries run about 15 minutes to a half hour, which is basically a perfect commute window for me. One drive, one big set of ideas. I can read the summaries online, download them as a PDF or an EPUB, or just listen to the audio version in the car. And what really makes this powerful from a learning standpoint is that it helps me identify the key concepts and lay down an initial schema for deep learning when I return to the full book later. It builds me a mental map. My brain already has the framework, so instead of feeling lost in chapter 1, I already know what to listen for, what to look for, and what ideas I need to connect. From a neuroscience perspective, this matters because your brain learns by building structure first. Then it layers in detail. 15 Minutes AI gives you that structure up front. If you want to try it for yourself, use my affiliate link in the description. It supports the channel, and it is a genuinely useful tool if you are serious about learning on the go. I love learning with 15 Minutes AI. On the way home from work, I shift gears mentally. This is where I use one of the most well-researched gratitude practices in psychology, called the 3 good things. I think about 3 good things that happened that day and why they happened. Not just what happened, why they happened. Our brains are wired with a negativity bias. That helped our ancestors survive, but in modern life, if you do nothing to counter it, your brain will default to stress, mistakes, and threat scanning. Over time, that becomes emotionally exhausting. Gratitude interrupts the loop. When you intentionally recall positive moments and connect them to causes, you activate reward circuits and the prefrontal cortex at the same time. Dopamine and serotonin will rise, cortisol will drop, and the amygdala quiets. You are literally rewiring your emotional baseline through repetition. And the car is a perfect place to do it. No pressure, no performance, just a quick reset before you walk back into your life. The first time I knew this was working for me, someone cut me off, and it was one of those situations where I almost got into a car accident, where I slammed on the brakes, everything in my car fell forward, and the first thought out of my head was, I am so grateful I was not in a car accident. And I started thinking to myself, man, what if I would have hurt myself? What if I would have hurt someone else? How expensive this would have been. And that almost near accident actually raised my mood. That is the power of reframing. That is the power of focusing on the positive. Sometimes I do none of this. No podcasts, no audiobooks, no music, just silence. And that silence is not empty. It is medicine. Your brain was never designed for nonstop stimulation. Silence allows your central nervous system to calm back down. That allows you to focus on reflection, creativity, and meaning making. When everything is loud, your mind cannot hear itself think. This is where insight often shows up. Students tell me their best ideas come in the shower, on walks, or while driving. That is not random. That is what happens when the brain finally gets space to reorganize information instead of just consuming more of it. It happens when you are peaceful and calm. Silence is not wasted time. Silence is where learning finishes its work. Your car can be a stress chamber, a distraction bubble, or one of the most powerful personal development tools you own. It can be where your mind stays flooded, or it can be where your mind gets trained. You already spent the time there. The only real question is, what kind of brain do you want to build while you drive? If this helped you, please like and subscribe. Keep calm, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video. You got this.